అటు నిజంగా ఒకటి ట్రై
Krishna Hare Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
भगवान की जय। लीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतत श्रीमद एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी लीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य लीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतत श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज लीला प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य लीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगा मई की जय, यमुना मई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, Hare Hare Bol. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya, Putra Srimate Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurava. Visheshwari Paschatya Deshata. So we'll start our chanting. Control. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you again for coming to this Saturday program. So we'll continue with our Srimad Bhagavatam session. And what verse? Can anyone remember?
Yes.
Chapter 2, very good.
12th verse. 12th.
12th. So Canto 1.
Canto 1.
Canto 1, Chapter 2, 12th verse onwards. Today, session will be given by His Grace Shyam Kumar Prabhu. Most of you know him, almost all. He is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He and my wife, they both got initiated same time in Gita Nagari, about 8 years back, right? When was that? You should remember your date. That is your rebirth.
Brenda was 2 years.
Yeah, that is your rebirth. So you should remember your date.
It's 12 years.
Okay, about 12 years. Good. So we'll hear Srimad Bhagavatam from him. Shyam Prabhu, please. And Saturday school will continue in the next door. All the kids, no adults, no elder kids allowed, only kids. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I've sent the verse to the Bensalem Bhakti Vriksha WhatsApp group. You can open it and then we can read the purport and we can follow. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva
Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nasaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Tam Namami Harim Param
Tam Namami Harim Param
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Tam Namami Harim Param
Tam Namami Harim Param
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Nama Sankirtanam Yasya
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Sarva Papa Pranashanam
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha
Tam Namami Harim Param
Tam Namami Harim Param.
So read from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text number 12. Please repeat. Tatshraddhana munayo
Tattva Munayo
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhaktya Shrutagrahitaya
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya
Tatshraddhana munayo
Tattva Munayo
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhaktya Shrutagrahitaya
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya
Tatshraddhana munayo
Tatshraddhana Tacchaddana Munayo
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhaktya Shrutagrahitaya.
Bhakta Shrutagrihitaya.
Want to repeat?
Tacchaddana munayo
Tacchaddana Munayo
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhaktya Shrutagrahitaya
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya. Tacchaddana
Munayo
Tacchaddana Munayo
Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhakta Shrutagrihitaya
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya.
Tacchaddana munayo
Tacchaddana Munayo
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya
Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya.
Translation. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
The absolute truth is realized in full by the process of devotional service to the Lord, Vasudeva, or the personality of Godhead, who is the full-fledged absolute truth. Brahman is his transcendental bodily effulgence, and Paramatma is his partial representation. As such, Brahman or Paramatma realization of the absolute truth is but a partial realization. There are 4 different types of human beings: the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, and the devotees. The karmis are materialistic, whereas the other 3 are transcendental. The first class transcendentalists are the devotees who have realized the Supreme Person. The second class transcendentalists are those who have partially realized the plenary portion of the Absolute Person. And the third class transcendentalists are those who have barely realized the spiritual focus of the Absolute Person. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures, the Supreme Person is realized by devotional service, which is backed by full knowledge and detachment from the material association. We have already discussed the point that devotional service is followed by knowledge and detachment from material association. As Brahman and Paramatma realization are imperfect realizations of the Absolute Truth, so the means of realizing Brahman and Paramatma, that is, the paths of Gnana and Yoga, are also imperfect means of realizing the Absolute Truth. Devotional service, which is based on the foreground of full knowledge combined with detachment from material association, and which is fixed by the oral reception of Vedanta's Shruti, is the only perfect method by which the seriously inquisitive student can realize the Absolute Truth. Devotional service is not, therefore, meant for the less intelligent class of transcendentalists. There are 3 classes of devotees, namely first, second, and third class. The third class devotees are the neophytes who have no knowledge and are not detached from material association, but who are simply attracted by the preliminary process of worshipping the deity in the temple are called material devotees. Material devotees are more attached to material benefit than transcendental profit. Therefore, one has to make definite progress from the position of material devotional service to the second class devotional position. In the second class position, the devotee can see 4 principles in the devotional line, namely the personality of Godhead, his devotees, the ignorant and the envious. One has to raise himself at least to the stage of a second-class devotee and thus become eligible to know the absolute truth. The third-class devotee therefore has to receive the instructions of devotional service from the authoritative source of Bhagavata. The number one Bhagavata is the established personality of devotee, and the other Bhagavatam is the message of God. The third-class devotee therefore has to go to the personality of devotee in order to learn the instructions of devotional service. Such a personality of devotee is not a professional man who earns his livelihood by the business of Bhagavatam. Such a devotee must be a representative of Shukadev Goswami like Suta Goswami and must preach the cult of devotional service for the all-around benefit of all people. A neophyte devotee has very little taste for hearing from the authorities. Such a neophyte devotee makes a show of hearing from the professional man to satisfy his senses. This sort of hearing and chanting has spoiled the whole thing, so one should be very careful about the faulty process. The holy messages of Godhead as inculcated in the Bhagavad Gita or in the Srimad Bhagavatham are undoubtedly transcendental subjects. But even though they are so, such transcendental matters are not to be received from the professional man who spoils them as the serpent spoils the milk simply by the touch of his tongue. A sincere devotee must therefore be prepared to hear the Vedic literature like the Upanishads, Vedanta and other literatures left by the previous authorities or Goswamis for the benefit of his progress. Without hearing such literatures, one cannot make actual progress, and without hearing and following the instructions, the show of devotional service becomes worthless and therefore a sort of disturbance in the path of devotional service. Unless therefore devotional service is established on the principles of Shruti, Smriti, Purana or Pancharatra authorities, the make show of devotional service should at once be rejected. An unauthorized devotee should never be recognized as a pure devotee. By assimilation of such messages from the Vedic literatures, one can see the all-pervading localized aspect of the personality of Godhead within his own self constantly. This is called Samadhi. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for being here. So, next 25-30 minutes we'll discuss about this verse today. So please pay attention. Reflections in the end, very important, because what we hear, what we repeat is what we carry with us. So just to give an idea of where we are in Srimad Bhagavatam, we've been hearing since last several weeks, Suta Goswami is giving responses, or he is answering questions that the sages asked him in the first chapter. So as we discussed, there were 6 questions asked by sages. There were 2 that were related to us as human beings, very particularly that awakens our duty of why we are here, related to Jignasa part. So the first question that was asked was Pumsam Ekantataha Shreyas, of the human beings, Pumsam Eka Antataha, one goal, Shreyas, the benefit. What is it that is most beneficial to us, the human beings? That is the first question that's asked. So sages requested, Suta Goswami, you're an expert, you know all the literature, the Vedic text, you know the Itihasas, you know Puranas. From this, you tell us what is it that one thing that is Shreyas to us, that is beneficial to us. Second question that was asked is, these Puranas are various. Bhurini, Bhuri Karmani, Shrotavyani, Vibhagashana. So, because they are humongous, they are various, and sometimes it seems contradictory also. So the sages are asking, Sadhu, O Suta Goswami, Atra Yat Saram. What is the essence of all these? Please give us the essence of all this. Because with us, given Kali Yuga, Mandaha Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upatritaha. We cannot understand all this. So sages are asking, give us the Sara, give us the essence. So two things, right? The remaining four questions, as we understood, that Krishna was born. What is the purpose behind his birth? Tell us about his activities, activities which were not possible by human beings. Then tell us about his different avatars. And the last question was, now that Krishna has gone back, Krishna Adya Swadhama Upagate Dharmaha Kam Sharanam Gataha. Whose shelter has Dharma taken? So they are very concerned about Dharma, which is the basis of our existence. So this is the first chapter. Now coming to the second chapter, we saw in the last 12 verses the answer that is given by Suta Goswami to the first question, which is, what is it that is most beneficial to us as human beings? Why we have taken birth as human beings? What is our purpose here? Why do we exist? Right? So the first thing that Suta Goswami said is, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje. He says, Paradharma, the highest dharma, why we exist. Dharma, again, in this context, Prabhupada translates it as it has occupational duties. But in the essence, dharma means what is the essence of our existence? What is the one thing that we have to focus on as human beings? What is that paradharma? Bhaktir Adhokshaje. Adhokshaja is one name of Krishna. Says Bhaktir Adhokshaje. The whole purpose why we have human form of life is to perform bhakti to Adhokshaja, to Krishna. So remember this word Adhokshaja. We'll come back and connect with this word, this particular verse. Right? Now, when we are performing bhakti to Krishna, this is our dharma. So we saw that this dharma, what explained further, what is it called? Dharma swanishta tata pumsam vishwaksena tata suha notpadayate yadiratim shama evahi kevalam. The dharma that we perform, it has to generate love for Krishna, rati for Krishna, or activities. If it doesn't, then shama evahi kevalam. It is waste, right? Now, in the last two verses prior to this, dharmasya hi apavargasya. It is said the purpose of dharma is to achieve apavarga. So we've discussed this in the past also. There is pavarga and apavarga. Pavarga means in the alphabets pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Right? These 5 letters, they are the pavarga. Varga means a category or grouping. So in the material universe, these 5 actually indicate our struggle. Pa means parishrama. Fa means fena. Parishrama means we struggle hard, right, in the material universe. Pa means fena, means we foam, like the foaming of when a horse actually is running, continuously, then it starts foaming because it's hard working. So that is how our existence is in this material world, struggling in the material world. Then ba is bandha. We are actually bound by our karma. If we do good karma, we are bound by good karmic reactions. We get happiness to enjoy. If we do bad karma, then we are bound by sinful reactions and we have to suffer. Ba. Bha is bhaya. So any person who has taken a body is subjected to bhaya, fear. The utmost fear that one is subjected to is what? Losing his body. Mrityu, that is atmosphere. But other than that, there are so many bhayas. What happens if I lose this dear one, lose my job, lose my money, lose my car? These are the different bhayas. And ma is mrityu, the ultimate fear that anyone has. So material existence means dealing with pavarga. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Right? Now, the purpose of dharma, as was explained in the 2 slokas prior, is dharmasya hi apavargasya. Pavarga, we discussed, the purpose of dharma is the opposite of pavarga, which is apavarga. It is dharma. If you put a a in front of dharma, it becomes adharma, opposite of that. So we discussed pavarga. Apavarga is the purpose why we have dharma. The reason dharma exists is for apavarga, right? Now, what is apavarga? Now, pavarga is the struggle in the material universe. The opposite is the spiritual universe. So, in spiritual universe, none of these struggles exist. There is no janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi. These things do not exist in the spiritual world. So, we perform dharma for apavarga, for going back to our original constitutional position, which is back to the spiritual world, right? Dharmasya hi apavargasya na artha arthaya upakalpate. Our activity should not be devoted for artha arthaya, for earning money. And even if somebody earns money, na artho arthaya upakalpate, na dharme kantasya kamo labha smritaha. So the artha that we earn for a person who is destined, who is thinking about his ultimate benefit, dharma ekantasya kamo na kama labhai smritaha. You should not think about sense gratification. Then what's the next verse? Na kamo labhai smritaha kamasya na indriya pritir. So the desires that we have, they should not be for na indriya pritir. The desires that we have, they should not be dovetailed, or they should not be focused on indriya priti, satisfying our senses. So the kama, the desires that we have, as Srila Prabhupada says, kama should be to desire that we want to go back to Krishna. We want to get ourselves attached to Krishna. We want to develop love for Krishna. That should be the reason of the presence of kama. So, kamasya na indriya pritir labho jiveta yavata. Then this is what the connection point is. Jivasya tattva jignasa. Yasche iha karma bihi. So jivasya, of us spiritual beings, our living beings, tattva jignasa. What we have to do is tattva jignasa. Yasche iha karma bihi. In our activities, our existence should be devoted for tattva jignasa. Right? So, now tattva jignasa is understanding tattva. What is tattva? Now, why tattva exists? What is our relationship with tattva? What is this thing called tattva? All these questions have to come. So that is answered in the previous verse that we discussed last week. So it says, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam. Tattva, those who know tattva vidas, vadanti, they talk about tattva. Tattva vidas vadanti tattvam yet gnanam advayam. That tattva is gnanam, full of knowledge, and advayam, it's non-dual. So that tattva is understood in three phases. Brahmeti, Bhagavaniti, Paramatmiti, Shabdhyate. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdhyate. So that tattva, absolute truth, is understood in three phases, or in three different ways. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Iti Shabdhyate. Through the words. So, knowing something through the words, one can understand, but it requires a lot more effort. Right? So this tattva, this absolute truth, one wants to understand, which is our ultimate dharma. This is why we exist here. This is our purpose. This is the goal of human life, right? Understanding this tattva jignasa. Now, to understand this tattva is understood in three phases, right? Either as Brahman, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, Brahman, Paramatma, or the ultimate is Bhagavan, right? Now, it is said, those tattva vidas, those that have understood it, they call this tattva as Shabdhyate in terms of sound. They have given us description of Brahman means this, Paramatma means this, or Bhagavan means this. Shruti means what we hear. So Shruti gives us description about who Brahman is, who Paramatma is, who Bhagavan is, right? So it is good. Now, this verse is talking about how to see it. how to pashyan. See, like a small child who has never seen an elephant, you describe an elephant to a small child, right? Which small child has never seen an elephant. Now, description has its own limitation. Sound has its own limitation. But then, if you bring a picture of elephant, show it to the small child, immediately it understands what elephant means, right? If you explain it through sound, there are very many doubts. What is this? Why is this? What? Right? All these questions come. But when somebody sees through their eyes, immediately it becomes clear, right? So that is the essence of this verse. So in this verse, what is being said? That tattvam that we talked about, which is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, tat Shraddadana Munayaha. So this tattvam, Shraddadana Munayaha, very important, let's break it down. Munis, these Munis, the understanding of Muni is those who are wise. And also one other understanding of Muni is those who actually contemplate constantly. Muni literally means Mauna. Mauna came from the same root as Muni. Mauna means what? I'm not talking. Right? If I'm not talking, what am I doing? Right? These Munis, they are not talking, means they are not talking worldly things, but then internally they are constantly contemplating on Krishna, on the absolute truth. That is why they are called Munis, wise people, right? So, this absolute truth, Shraddadana Munayaha, these Munis who are Shraddadana, who have Shraddha. Shraddha is faith. Very important word. So there are 4 words that we have to understand in this verse. Tat Shraddadana Munaya Gnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyanti Atmani Cha Atmanam Bhaktya Shruta Grahitaya. So we have to understand Shraddha, one word, remember. Then 5 words. Muni, we just talked about it. Then Gnana and Vairagya. So through Gnana and Vairagya, they are able to Pashyanti Atmani Atmanam. They are saying Pashyanti, they can see. We'll discuss a little more about it. These Munis, because they have faith, somewhere they start. With faith, Shraddha Dhana, Dhana means with faith, Munayaha Pashyanti Atmani. Pashyanti, they see Atmani within themselves. Atmanam, the absolute truth that we talked about. So these Munis are able to see within themselves, in the heart, Atmanam, how? Bhaktya. So through devotional service, through bhakti, which is according to Shruta Grihitayaha, which is according to Shrutis, which is according to Vedic scriptures. Grihitaha means having completely had control or understood the Shrutis, right? And the prior qualification is what? Gnana Vairagya Yuktayaha. These Munis have to be attached to Gnana and Vairagya. If they have Gnana and Vairagya, initially they start with Shraddha. So these Munis who constantly think on the absolute truth, they are able to see this absolute truth within their heart. Why? Because they have Shraddha, they have faith. Very important thing. Anything one has to achieve in spirituality, it should start with faith. One has to have absolute faith. Shraddha, right? And with Shraddha, they have to contemplate. Why? Because they are Muni. You have to contemplate constantly. And while contemplating, you have to have 2 basic qualifications. Or you have to acquire these qualities. What is it? Gnana and Vairagya. So, if you have Gnana, Vairagya, with Gnana and Vairagya, Pashyanti Atmani Atmanam, you are able to see Krishna. So those 3, Shabdyate, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdyate, what we heard, these munis, because they have faith that they want to see Krishna, because they have faith, they have developed Gnana and Vairagya, and because they have developed Gnana and Vairagya through Bhakti, as per the following of the scriptures, Shruta Grahitayaha Pashyanti Atmani Atmanam. They are able to see Krishna within their heart. Actually, Brahma Samhita says this. They says, Gnananjana, what is it? Shalakaya? No. Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilakenti. Premanjana Churita. It says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Santaha. Santaha, Mauni, Munis, all same. Santaha, those devotees, pure devotees. Santaha Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Always, Sada Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. A pure devotee actually is able to see Krishna. Prabhupada many times says this. Prabhupada said, if you desire sincerely and strongly, constantly if you desire, you can see Krishna like I am seeing you and I am talking to you. Prabhupada said this many times. And Prabhupada many times said, I was able to see Krishna. I could see Krishna and talk to him. Krishna answers me whenever, there are times when Krishna answers me directly. Prabhupada said this. So, Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Why? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So, it is possible to see Krishna. The stage is what? Like you have to have Shraddha, you have to develop Gnana and Vairagya. So what is Gnana? Gnana is understanding that Krishna is the Supreme. Starting in the 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about himself, giving Gnana, Vignana. Both he gives just the Gnana, the actual knowledge, and realized knowledge, both. So in that case, Krishna himself says, Mattat parataram na anyat kinchidassi dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. This is Gnana. Krishna exists just like a pearl string that holds all the pearls together. The string is not seen, right? Like we see all this material existence, like we see mountains, trees, forests, rivers, everything. We don't see Krishna. We don't see Krishna, but Krishna exists. In order to see Krishna, what has to happen? Gnana and Vairagya. Gnana has to be developed. So, to develop Gnana, one has to constantly think. Ananya chetaha yomam smarati nityashaha. Tasyaham sulabhaha partha. Krishna says again Bhagavad Gita. He says Ananya chetaha. One who is Ananya, without any break, chetaha, through mind, yomam smarati nityashaha. One who thinks of me constantly. Tasyaham sulabhaha partha. Saying to that person, I'm easy. For him to see me, I'm easy. And then Krishna also says, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. So one who sees me everywhere and in everything one sees me only. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami. To that person I am never lost. Sacha name pranashyati. He is also never lost. So it means if one desires Krishna's constant association, one can actually see Krishna. Krishna himself has given these verses in Bhagavad Gita. So that is Gnana, understanding who Krishna is, understanding I want to constantly connect with Krishna. That is Gnana. Then Vairagya is what? Vairagya is detaching ourselves, as Prabhupada said, material detachment, detaching ourselves materially. That we have our senses getting attracted to all these material things. We have to control our senses in such a way that we actually attach our senses only to Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. Right? So if we do that, then Vairagya develops. So with Gnana and Vairagya Yuktayaha, if we connect with Krishna in Gnana, in this Gnana and Vairagya, then Pashyanti Atmani Cha Atmanam. We can see Krishna. And the last two remaining parts, Bhaktya Shruti Grahitayaha. So we can see Krishna only through bhakti. Right? Now, as we said Prabhupada also explained, Brahman realization. Mayavadis also can achieve Brahman realizations, where Mayavadis think Krishna is Nirakara and Nirguna. Krishna has no form and Krishna has no qualities, right? They also can actually achieve Brahman realization. They actually get Sayujya Mukti. They merge into Brahman, right? That is possible. But then only through bhakti one can see Krishna. If you don't even believe Krishna has a form, what do you want to see, right? So Krishna says only bhakti actually gives you the perspective of Krishna as a person. Without bhakti, bhakti means what? Srila Madhvacharya defines bhakti as Mahatmya Gnana Purvastu Sudrudaha Sarvato Adikaha Snehaha Bhakti Riti Proktaha. He says Mahatmya Gnana Purvastu. So if I want to develop bhakti to Krishna, what I need to know first? I need to know his Mahatmya. I need to know how great he is. I need to know what his great qualities are. Mahatmya Gnana Purvastu Sudrudaha Sarvato Adikaha Snehaha. Sneha, we all know, friendship, attachment. It comes from the word snigdha, which means attaching. That sneha, that attachment that we have, it should be sudrudaha. It should be unshakable. It shouldn't shake up. Tomorrow if somebody comes and says, Krishna is not supreme, this such and such demigod is supreme, you shouldn't shake up. That faith should not shake up, right? Sudrudaha. And then sarvato adikaha. We also have this sneha, attachment with our, say, family members, right? Or somebody that we devotedly appreciate. We have this attachment to them. But then, in order for it to be bhakti, it should be sarvato adikaha. More than what we actually show it to anybody else. That cannot be shown to anybody else, right? What is this Mirabai bhajan? Mere Giridhar Gopal, right? But the most important thing is what? Dusra na koi. Our attachment can be there with anybody. Sudrudaha sarvato adikaha. Sarvato adikaha means nobody else is at that level where we actually connect with Krishna, right? So that is what is bhakti. So when we get to that level, when we attach ourselves to Krishna, that this position is absolute. When we love Krishna, when we position Krishna in that highest position, when we do this only when we understand his Mahatmya, when we understand how Krishna is glorious, when we understand the superior position of Krishna, right? That is the only reason why we can attach that importance to Krishna, right? So it's 7:20. Let me summarize what we discussed. So far we have seen what is our Parama Dharma, what is our highest engagement in this human form of life. Our highest engagement is to develop bhakti to Krishna, right? Now we know when we develop bhakti to Krishna, we get transferred from here material universe to the spiritual universe. So that is our business here, right? In order to do that, we have to follow dharma. So that dharma has to be apavarga, not pavarga. Pavarga we are struggling. We have to follow apavarga in order to achieve that dharma, right? And that apavarga following has to be started with the tattva jignasa. If we want to attach to Krishna, we need to know who Krishna is. Jignasa is to understand tattva. Tattva is Krishna, right? Who that Krishna is, we have to know. So that Krishna tattva is understood in three ways, right? Through hearing, Shabdyate, Brahmeti, Bhagavaniti, Paramatmeti. Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So in these three ways we can understand Krishna, right? But this is only through hearing. Now is there something beyond this? Can we see Krishna? That is answered by this verse. Pashyanti Atmani. Within the self, one can see Krishna, Atmanam. How? Muni. You have to become a Muni. You have to constantly contemplate. While contemplating, what you need? You have to have Shraddha. Initial thing is, only through Shraddha you begin, then Gnana Vairagya Yuktayaha. You have to develop these qualities of Gnana. Gnana, that Krishna is the Supreme. If you develop that Gnana and Vairagya, where everything belongs to Krishna, nothing belongs to me. First step of Vairagya. Then Krishna is the proprietor of everything. And I am here only as eternal servant of Krishna. My whole existence here is only to give pleasure to Krishna. That is the real Vairagya. So I was just hearing this also the other day, that even if Krishna comes and asks, I want to give you moksha, you want to come back, what is the right response of a devotee? A devotee says, Krishna, yes, I want to come back. I want moksha. No, the right devotee says, Krishna, if it is pleasing to you, give me moksha. Otherwise it's okay. My whole purpose is whatever pleases I want to do. If it pleases you, give me moksha. I'll come and serve you there also. Right? So that is the Vairagya, real Vairagya. So with Dana and Vairagya, Yuktaya, then Bhaktya. Only through Bhakti. Understanding of Bhakti is what? We have to understand that Krishna is our only shelter. Mahatmya Gnana Purvastu Sudrudaha Sarvato Adhikaha Snehaha. Bhakti means friendship. So that friendship, that attachment should be what? Sarvato Adhikaha. It should be more than what we show to anybody else. And Sudrudaha, it should be unshakable. And that bhakti should be Shruta Grahitaya, as per what is given in scriptures. We cannot just manufacture our own religion and then say I'm doing bhakti to Krishna, and then Krishna. There are many gurus that say there is no Krishna, there is no heaven, there is no spiritual world. Everything is here, right? This is not according to what scriptures say, right? So if all these things get in the mix, then one is able to see Krishna, Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam. One can see. And this is the important thing. In order for one to go back to spiritual world, one has to get self-realization. And that realization begins with Paramatma realization. Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Only when somebody is able to see that Paramatma, then they will actually be able to go further and realize Krishna and then go back to spiritual world. So if we don't get to that stage, seeing Krishna that is sitting in our heart, in the Paramatma expansion, there is no hope that we can ever go back to Godhead. So this is why it is so important. So Gnana and Vairagya is important in order to see Krishna in our heart, and through the process of bhakti, devotional service. Okay, so I'll stop right there. 7:24. Reflections. Time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for this class. So my reflection is we can see Krishna face to face, as you are saying, through knowledge and Vairagya, Jnana and Vairagya. And what is that knowledge is that I am not this body, I am a spiritual soul, and we have some relationship with Krishna and we have to go back to Godhead. That is the knowledge. And how to get this knowledge? Through Vedas, which is here it is mentioned, through Upanishads and Vedas, we can get that particular knowledge, and hearing and contemplating about Krishna, then we'll get that knowledge, and then knowledge will result into a Vairagya, means detachment from this material world, and not only a detachment from this material world, but simultaneously attachment to the Krishna. So by doing this knowledge and Vairagya, and through following the devotional process as per given by previous acharyas, we can see the Lord face to face.
Thank you very much. Nice.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Today I learned that there's 3 ways you can understand Krishna: Paramatma, Bhagavan and Brahman. And also I learned that in order to see Krishna you should have bhakti. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Today I learned that a muni is someone who contemplates on Krishna and doesn't talk about worldly things. And these people can see Krishna because they have faith, because they believe Krishna is the Supreme Lord of Godhead, and because they're detached from material objects.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what I learned in today's class was that we should use our sense of desire, not the desire for material things, but to desire that we should please Krishna, and that we should go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Krishna. Dhanavad pranams all Prabhupada. Very nice session, Prabhuji, as always. Today, what I have taken from the class is how I always thought when people realize Krishna, they realize they see Krishna after so much contemplating. But today, there's one important point that you mentioned that first we have to realize Paramatma in our heart. Then only we can see Krishna. That is a very good point. I did not know that before. And also how Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan is realized in by following and having the Shraddha and reading and hearing more about the lecture and our Puranas and Vedas. That is the only way we can go towards our spiritual journey and realizing Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and pranam Sarvashri. Very nice class, and especially I like the way how you connected from the very beginning of the first chapter, 6 questions, but then as we are hearing the answers or the process of getting the answer in the past 11 shlokas, honestly, I was thinking, okay, what did we all say? What did we hear in the first 11 shlokas? But after you mentioned, it was very helpful to connect. And then the pavarga, apavarga, though I heard it before, I didn't know the logic, like how you explained papa, papa, ma, and then the apavarga. And the initial thought that came to my mind is, I think that is what we should remember every day, every minute. Then we won't go into like you said, shrama, like it goes waste. But how will we implement that? Only when we think of that constantly. So that thought came to my mind, and also like the way you explained, I felt in my mind like a pyramid. First you should have the Shraddha, and then Gnana, Vairagya, like a triangle, and then the result, like when we understand something, you try to make a chart yourself so that you don't forget. And that's how, that's another thing that got connected. So now the question is, how we can keep remembering this? We get busy every minute, every day, and then, I don't know if my answer is correct. I was like, okay, then maybe the only way how we can remember is that how you said like Muni, how they contemplate, but it's very difficult, but I think it comes by practice, and how Prabhupada made it easy. Hare Krishna mantra. Well, how we contemplate, there's many ways to contemplate. Then that's why as I started thinking, okay, what is it for us to implement based on what you told us today is like that contemplating is important. Then he is helping us to see within ourselves. That's what I felt. Thank you.
That reminded me of story of Shabri. Actually Shraddha is very important, right? In case of Shabri, this whole verse actually applies to Shabri, right? She started with Shraddha. What is the Shraddha? Her Guru, Matanda Muni, just told Shabri that Lord Rama will come. You have to just wait. And Matanda Muni left his body. He went back to the spiritual world. But he said, you have to wait. And Shabri, just based on that one word from Guru, she had faith in her Guru's words. And in that faith, she spent her whole life developing Gnana, which is that Rama is Supreme Lord and he is going to come, and Vairagya. She gave up everything. Her whole life, every morning she would get up and then only start looking for Rama. Every morning she would get up, go through her life. She would keep looking for Rama. Did Rama come? She would clean up the ashram that she's lived. She would bring fresh fruits to offer to Rama. Her only meditation, thinking was, oh, Rama is going to come today. Why? My Guru Maharaj said, faith. That faith, she developed Gnana and Vairagya, and eventually what happened? Pashyanti Atmani Atmanam. Not only like within, Rama personally came. and she could see Rama personally, right? And that is the bhakti, like the seed of bhakti that her Guru Maharaj sowed in her heart, and the shraddha that she used to actually nourish that, that grew into a tree, and Rama himself came, right? So that's a very good example of how this verse applies. Like you can see the Supreme Lord if you start with faith and then develop Jnana and Vairagya, and then through the development of Bhakti. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice.
Krishna Prabhuji, what I learned today was that we should remind ourselves that everything's temporary in the material world, and we should stop getting so attached to things we know aren't gonna last, because that can turn into something worse that's harder to get rid of. And the more things we get attached to, the more we forget about what our actual journey is all about, which is going back to Krishna. So we should stop getting attached to things we shouldn't, and then just remind ourselves on what the bigger picture is.
Thank you, Krishna. Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
You mentioned Jnana, Vairagya and Bhakti. Through those we can achieve Krishna. Jnana is getting attached to more books to read and then get knowledge. Vairagya is getting detached to the material existence. Then develop Bhakti towards the Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So today's learning from your lecture is one of the most important purpose of the life is to develop a bhakti towards the Krishna. In order to develop the bhakti to Krishna, you have to follow the dharma. Right? So along with the dharma, so you need some other qualities. The one you said, shraddha. And shraddha means faith in God. And then you need Gnana. The Gnana means intelligence, who could able to understand the scriptures and all that stuff. And then Vairagya is a detachment from the material existence. That all these qualities will convert to a muni, where they have a more that will lead towards the Krishna consciousness. And another thing just to add, when you said Shraddha, and also you just give example of Sabari, so that reminds me, when I was a kid, we usually go to that time, so many times we go to the Baba temple. The Baba's teachings were two words, always every temple they put Shraddha and Sabari. Shraddha means faith and Sabari means a patience. So whoever has a patience, maybe that word came from Sabari. I don't know, I'm just relating that when you said. So when she has a patience, like whatever the 90 years patience that lead towards to see the Rama. So that could be the reason we have to develop. It could be years or whatever the time it will take. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very important. The patience that Shabbi showed, not even for a moment she doubted that Rama will come. Amazing. And every day she would do the same thing. She would say, Rama will come today. And Rama didn't come, no worries. Tomorrow is again the same routine. It's amazing, Krishna. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. It's a very nice, wonderful class. Yeah, I just only focus, especially I see the class all but explaining very nicely, but I just focus on one thing. He says the minimum qualification or requirement, you have to realization for the Paramatma. Then you have to go to back to Godhead. This is, I don't know about this because today I learned this one especially. I know that the Brahmati, Paramatmati, Shabdati, Bhagavan, like these three aspects of this, for the, you can realization for the Bhagavan. But there is this one is, but I have some questions, I don't know.
We'll come back to the question later.
Oh, later,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's finish the reflections.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. My reflection from today's class is we should not even desire liberation, and we have our only desire should be we have to please Krishna always. And another thing is before going to Godhead, we must realize that Paramatma is seated in our heart. We must have that realization. And my question is, should we also see Paramatma in everyone's heart also before going to that?
Yeah, we'll come back to the question. It just that reminded me the story of Jatayu. Actually, Jatayu did not seek liberation from Lord Rama. Jatayu's only purpose was that he had to save Mother Sita. He knew very well that he was no match for Ravana. He knew he would get killed. He didn't care. All that he worried about was, this is my daughter-in-law, because Jatayu was Dashratha's friend. This is my daughter-in-law, I have to save her from this demon. So that service actually gave him a position where Lord Rama himself did the Kriya Karma for Jatayu, which Lord Rama didn't even do to Dashratha. You have to remember what Dashratha didn't get, his own father, because Lord Rama wasn't there in Ayodhya when Dashratha passed away. That status was granted to Jatayu, you know, such exalted position. And actually it is also said that when Rama was getting coronated, he remembered Jatayu. It is like, you know, there is words that they play. It is said that Rama was remembering Vav Gata Jvaraha. Like it says Vav is bird, word is Vav. So he was remembering Jatayu. That for me, Jatayu gave his own life, and automatically Jatayu got promoted to the spiritual world. So he didn't even have to ask. So whatever pleases to Krishna, if one engages in doing that, automatically they get what, you know, is given, or mukti is given. Thank you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. I never knew that we can see the Lord Krishna if we constantly desire and do something like heart bhakti, bhakti and heart, his greatness we know, and detachment of this world, then we can see the Nana and Vairagya, then we can see the Lord Krishna. And Pa, Bha, Ba, Bha, Ma is new to me too. Yeah, I never knew that before. Yeah. Thank you for the class.
Thank you, Matish. Yeah, the process of realization, from what I've understood, like Prabhupada also mentions it, some purports. First is understanding that we are not this body, we are the spirit self. And then the second one comes the localized Paramatma within the heart. One is able to see that Paramatma because we are sitting right next to him as a Jivatma. Then the highest is Bhagavan realization. That is when one gets to the exalted position of actually associating with Krishna constantly in the spiritual world, and Krishna then makes us actually take part in his Leela in the material universe as well as in the spiritual universe. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. I want to say one thing. Have you ever heard the name Ramakrishna Paramahansa?
Yes.
I heard Ramakrishna had seen Ma Kali, but I never knew that we can see the Lord Krishna too.
Yes, Mataji. There are many stories where devotees, even like if you talk about just like 150, 200 years back, there is references that these devotees were able to see Krishna face to face. And Bhagavad Gita, we know Krishna himself says, Dadami Divya Chakshu to Arjuna in order to see Krishna's Virat Rupa. So Krishna, if he desires, it will happen. Krishna has to desire. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class, and I think the reflection which I have from today's class is to understand Krishna more closely, we have to have a constant desire and strong belief, and to get this, we have to become a Santa. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I remember Prabhupada in one of the purports says, if you are sincere enough and desire strongly. If your desire becomes strong enough, Krishna comes. So, thank you.
But we have to do like fulfill an attainment of this material, this detachment of this world.
Right.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this wonderful class. I got many good points, Prabhuji. For the best I like is how to basically go from Pavarga to Apavarga. We actually get so much absorbed in the Pavarga because of whatever we are doing all the time. But then we should think about the higher goal, and with Apavarga, how to go back to Godhead, with that should be our focus, increasing with the help of Dhyan and with the help of Bhakti, and with the help of course, our spiritual masters and devotee association. That is another thing. So that's the main thing I liked very much about this class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for very nice class, Prabhuji. My reflection is that Druda, we have to have that unshakable faith for Krishna. So whoever comes and say bad about Krishna, we should be in that position to defend at least ourselves, to not to shake our faith. We have to build that kind of faith for Krishna. Then that is the thing for us to go back to home, back to God. Definitely, we have to build that. As Madhvacharya said that Adhika, there is no other personality, supreme personality of Godhead for me. So only Krishna for me. So that is the faith we have to have. So that I like to Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That reminds me, initial stages in our faith when it's not strong, if somebody says something against, say, we love Krishna, but somebody says against Krishna, something against Krishna, we get disturbed. To one extent, to one level, we might also start doubting some of the things. It's possible, right? But as one advances, the faith becomes sudruda, it gets solidified, we build up that connection with Krishna. The same words actually will make us feel sorry for that person. You would start thinking, this person is so unfortunate that he is actually in such an illusion that he is losing the importance, he doesn't understand the importance. So there's this one very highly elevated poet in Kannada. His name is Dattatreya Ramchandra Bendre. Like, he was actually all his work, he was Gnanapita Prashasti Vijeta, like he had obtained Gnanapita Prashasti 1972, and all his writings, they had a lot of Vedic inner meanings. Like the one that he obtained Gnanapita Prashasti was for Nakutanti, which not many people could understand because it's all intertwined with the Vedic meaning. So somebody would come and then ask him, is there God? Does God exist? He would say that, God doesn't exist. This person would just, after answering him whatever, he would feel so sorry for that person. That this person is so, that is the compassion of devotee's heart, where they would feel sorry that a person is wasting his human form of life. So that is as one reaches the firmer conviction about Krishna's existence. It doesn't shake our faith, but it makes us feel compassionate about others' unfortunate situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the nice class. So today my reflection is that death is the biggest fear of human life, and also that our belief in God should be so strong that what other people say about God should not affect us or our thinking. Thank you.
Yeah, that death is the biggest fear. There's this verse that Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati. This is the case. This is in respect to what's his name, Chitrasena, who is a Gandharva, who was cursed by Mother Parvati to become a demon. And this Chitrasena doesn't flinch. He doesn't get scared. So Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati becomes actually surprised that I cursed him to become a demon and then he's not even flinching, he's not scared. So Lord Shiva says, Narayana Parasarve na kutasthana bhibyati. So one who is completely surrendered to Krishna and understand Krishna is the protector, na kutasthana bhibyati. They are not scared of anything. They are not scared of even death. Thank you. Nice. Arundhati Mataji. Mataji, you have any reflections? Okay. Anybody else wants to? Online.
Online, nobody is there today online.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bhakta Sangha Prabhu, and then we had two questions, like quickly. I know it's
I'll be quick.
Yeah.
So, my reflection is that faith is very important. Okay, and before even coming to this point, we are in second chapter, right? So, these are the answers from the first chapter. So that means we have to inquire first before even getting to this faith. So inquiry is most important. So whenever we have questions, we should not hold it back. You know, it's like demons, right? They say questions means demons. So it will bother us. Just spit it out. Whether it's the most blunt question or any dummy question, whatever it is, you know, you should not hold it back. So just spit it out and we'll get an answer. And that will lead us to faith, actually. And faith will become stronger if you associate. Adostata tata sadhu sangha, ata bhajana kriya. So faith will be stronger if you associate. This is the association what we are having. So our faith increases and then we can acquire knowledge. Otherwise, if you just acquire knowledge, if you don't have faith, somebody, as he said, somebody else will come and he says, oh, Krishna is not supreme, somebody else is supreme. Then our faith will change. Right? So that has to be stronger and it will be stronger because of association. Yeah, thank you, bro.
There were two questions. Mataji had one and then Prabhuji had a question. I'll try to be quick. 7:48. So.
Yeah, Prabhu. I don't know, as far as my remembering, is it like in the Muni and Shanto? Is it the same Prabhu?
Yeah. You see, all of them are devotees. They can be categorized devotees. Santa is one who is more who is constantly controlling his senses. He's more focused on peaceful existence.
It looks like Goswami, is it correct? Shanta is look like Goswami?
Yeah.
But his Muni is different.
Muni is more like, one who is more inquisitive and contemplative.
Yeah, like Muni's realization is the Paramatma, right? Prabhuji?
No, devotees all. Any devotee they can realize Paramatma. Now here that particular verse, that particular word is used in this verse just to signify that through faith one can develop to bhakti, through contemplation. So because all these sages that were gathered there, those were all called munis. Like there are many times when this word comes, they are munis. Their main purpose was actually to contemplate after hearing in order to go back to Krishna.
I have another question, small question, I'm sorry. Like, there is like, you also mentioned the class, I remember it, like, the back to Godhead means like the Vaikuntha, just there is no death, like whatever the materialistic, we have the birth, the disease, old age, death, there is nothing. There is already, we are not fearful anything for that. Then, and I have question like, what kind of Sheba we have to done for this like Vaikuntha? Because, in the materialistic I just see there is lots of people or lots of devotees also there. Devotee comes to the temple or somewhere, but some devotee is going to the service for the Lord and all of them not doing like this. Then all are devotees, especially for this going back to Godhead. Then what service they are doing?
Right. So in spiritual world, what service we do, right? Now, every one of us is a Jivatma. Every one of us have Swarupa. We have a form already in the spiritual world. Prabhupada many times addresses this. We have a particular relationship with Krishna, we have a particular form, we have a particular service already with Krishna. Now that we have come here, through purification, and the best is through the chanting in Kali Yuga, we actually uncover that. So part of self-realization is when we actually purify our existence and connect with Krishna, we uncover our own Swarupa. So even while being here, when we get that self-realization, right, our Swarupa will become visible to us. So when that Swarupa becomes visible to us, even though we are living in this material world, we are actually liberated. Prabhupada uses Jivan Mukta. So all of us have a particular position already there. Just like, we are here, but, if you go back to India, you are somebody's, cousin, somebody's that, this, right? You have some relationship there, right? But when you come here, that relationship still exists, but you are not there. You are here. So just like spiritual world, we have that Swarupa, we don't remember it here, and through purification process, when we realize our connection with Krishna, here itself we actually know our Swarupa. And when we go back, we actually going back to our post.
I'm sorry, Prabhu, I'm not really understanding.
Okay, we can talk later, Prabhu. Yeah, during Prasadam we can sit and talk. You have Mataji had a question, Mataji, we can come back later.
I just share what I heard.
Oh, yeah, Mataji. A reflection.
Hare Krishna. Just from Shabari's example, I learned that we need to have complete faith in a Guru. Complete faith and that Shraddha, that faith she faced Lord Ram personally. When she got into the connection with the God. And Jatayu's example was selfless service. He knew that he would be killed by the demon, but Ravana, but he just wanted to, was very much wanted to take care of Sita Devi. Right. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. In today's class, you told before going back to Godhead, we should realize Paramatma in everyone's heart. So my question is, we should also realize in everyone's heart Paramatma. Like, we have to come to Uttamadhikari stage, or how it is?
Right, Mataji. So once we get to the stage of seeing Paramatma in our heart, we also will be at a stage where we will see Paramatma in everyone else's heart. Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So that verse Prabhupada explains Vidya Vinaya Sampanna. And then also in the case of when Lord Shiva doesn't get up to honor his father-in-law, Daksha Prajapati. So at that time, Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, why you didn't get up even though you knew that your father-in-law came. So Lord Shiva says, I was actually focusing on the Supreme Lord sitting in Lord Brahma's heart. Brahma was sitting there itself. So one who is exalted, they actually can see Paramatma in everyone's heart. Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
I have a question for Paramatma and Bhagavan. Is that the same?
We'll talk, Mataji. When we have the class, Prasadam, we can talk.
Okay.
We don't want to hold them.
I'm heading you in this class.
Sure, yeah. So let us close the reading. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai,
Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishvanebhyo Namo Namah.
Anantakoti Vaishnava ki jai.
It's a big round of applause to his guest, Shyam Kumar Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. That was really wonderful. So we'll have now Saturday class students. Where are they? Sloka recitation. Get all the students. Yes.
Dhyayato Vishyam Pumsa Sangaspeshu Pujayate Sangas Sanjayate Kama Krodho Vijayate. While contemplating the sense objects, a person gets too attached to them, and by such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises.
What do you understand by that? What do you understand?
So what I understand from that is that if you're too attached to like a toy or something, and your dad or mom doesn't buy it, you get angry because the lust for the toy, like you have too much lust for the toy.
How did the lust come?
Because you really wanted it.
You were thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Very well. Practical experience.
Try to apam sangate jo bajayate sakan sanjayate kama kota bajayate while completing the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises.
What do you understand by that?
What I understand from this sloka is when you get too attached to something, you get anger. National Shastani, Nayadati Pavaka, Najay Grady Antiapo, Nasushati Mata, and I don't know, we, if whatever it's going, we should not leave it. We just have to keep trying.
Very good.
Jayato Shyam Kumar Sangha Seshupa Jayate Sangha Jayate Kama Krodha Vijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, one develops attachment from them. From such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
What do you understand?
I understand that we should use our senses for Krishna, for Krishna consciousness, or otherwise we will fall down again.
You want to say the story? Haridas Thakur.
So Haridas Thakur, he was chanting, and then there was a person, he didn't want Haridas Thakur to further advance in spiritual advancement, so he sent a girl there, and then the girl was, her task was to disturb Haridas Thakur. So so the girl said, I want to be with you. And then Haridas Thakur said, I have a lot of chanting to do. After I'm done, I will be with you. And then she was sitting down waiting for him to finish his chanting. And then what happened is, he was chanting for so long that that the girl, she fell asleep. And then she woke up in the morning and she said, this is not the day, I will do it again tomorrow. So she kept on doing this, and then Haridas Thakur, and then she came one day and said, and then that kept on happening. So, and then by doing Shravanam, she became a devotee herself, and she wanted to be a disciple of Haridas Thakur. So she asked her, what can I do to become your disciple? So Haridas Thakur said, sell everything you have and give it away, and then come to my ashram and I will teach you.
Very good. I'm Sanjay.
You want to say what you understood?
Jayato Vishayam Pumsa Sanghas Te Supajayate Sanghas Sanjayate Kama Krodha Vijayate. While contemplating on the objects of the senses, a person can develop attachment, and from attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. What I understood is that when you use the senses to worry about things that are temporary and material,
the potential is much more harmful, and as in lust and anger. So it's important to constantly remind yourself of what you're getting yourself into, and remember the potential of your actions.
Very nice.
Yayato Shriyan Pusa Sangaseshu Vajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamakroto Vijayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. What I understand from this sloka is that attachment to material things, objects, can be harmful, and it can have a very harmful impact on a person.
Yayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangasteshu Prajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Kroto Prajayate. When contemplating the objects of the material senses, one develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust arises, and from lust, anger arises. What I understand from this is that objects in the material world are temporary, and when they're inevitably taken away, you can develop passion and anger to them, which is why you should instead attach your senses to Krishna, who is not temporary and cannot be taken away, and it will not result in any passion or anger.
Wonderful.
While contemplating the objects of the sense, a person develops attachment to them, and from attachment lust arises, and from lust anger develops. What I learned is that you should always use your senses to serve Krishna and not for any materialistic things.
Haribol. So wonderful. Big round of applause to all the kids. And the beauty part of this is that comprehending what they understand, right? Thank you. Come, Dr. Purja. Please. Yes.
Yeah, we can. Okay, Shloka.
Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavastaiva, Kimakurvata, Sanjaya.
What did you understand by it?
Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yuyutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavastaiva, Kimakurvata, Sanjaya.
I'm not going to ask question again.
Yeah, she understood it.
What did you understand? I will go and look. Very nice. Yeah. Good job. Thank you. Again, so let's break for prasad. So if you have any questions when we assemble during prasad, you can ask. What's the next step? Yeah. It's a good idea. Yeah, next time, just remind me. Thank you. Or do you have ready? Okay. Prabhupada quotes. No, you have to scroll up.
Last 7 days, Prabhupada quote, somebody can read it.
Yes. So Ashok Prabhu brought up this wonderful idea, which is very essential, to read out 1 week's Srila Prabhupada's quote for the day. So we get this quote every day, right? Thank you, Brajesh Govind Prabhu. He sends the quote, and so if we can read that for that particular week, that will be nice. Thank you, Ashok Prabhu, for bringing that up. So it starts from when?
Go back 7 days.
Yes, 9th, right? 9th. Okay. Anyways, I can't see. Come. So Srila Prabhupada says, we should always remember that our body is not for sense gratification. It is for Krishna's service only. And to render very good sound service to Krishna, we should not neglect the upkeep of the body. This told letter to Rai Ram in February 9, 1969. Mango is so nice, either ripened or unripened. It is always good. And that goodness may be tasted by different types of men. But mango is always good. Mango is mango, king of all fruits. So devotional service is king of all processes of God realization. That is its position always, either ripened or unripened. One who seeks pleasure externally is materialistic, and one who seeks pleasure internally is spiritualist. Spiritual anxiety means you are always advancing in spiritual life, and material anxiety means you are going downhill. Maya is so strong that as soon as I am sitting in a solitary place, then I will think of money and women. Therefore, we should always live in the assembly of devotees and chant Hare Krishna and save ourselves from the danger of material fall down. February 1975. The flies, they are finding out where is sore, and the bees, they are finding out where there is honey. Two classes, fault fighting and collecting the good things. Similarly, there are many rascals who are simply fault finding. Blasphemy means you have good qualities, but still I am defaming you. The saintly persons tends to overlook the bad qualities and sees only the good ones. February 1976. The last one. Your suggestion that the devotees visiting Vrindavan engage in preaching and chanting and not in gossiping is very good. We have sacrificed our life for Krishna's service. Where there is scope for sleeping and where is there scope for sleeping and gossiping? You can see in my example, not a single moment is wasted. February 1977. Thank you, Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ma prasade govinde. Nama brahmane vaishnave. Svalpa punyavatam rajan. Vishwaso naiva jayate. Sharira vidyajal. Jadendriya sahekal. Jiva fele vishya sagare. Tara madhya jivahati. Lobhoma sudurmati. Take jatakatina samsare. Krishna Barodayamai. Puribara Jivajai. Swaprasada Nadilobai. Jai Annamrita Pavo. Ji Radha Krishna Gunagavo. Premeda Ko Chaitanya Nitai. Jai Nimai Jai Nitai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara. Sivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Radha Krishna Mahaprasadam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Hare Hare Bol. Thank you.
Hey, that's right.